Letter 3, comparing heaven and hell. The greatest reward for our hard work is not what we get, but what we will become. If you view work as a pleasure, life is a heaven. If you view work as a duty, life is hell. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. November 9, 1897. Dear John, there's an allegory that's very meaningful and provided me with a lot of insights. The fable said, in ancient Europe, a man found himself in a wonderful place where he could enjoy everything in his afterlife. As soon as he steps into the piece of music, someone who looks like a waiter came over and asked him, "Sir, do you have any needs? Here you can have everything you want. Delicious food, all possible forms of entertainment, and all kinds of pastimes. Among them are many beautiful young women, where you can enjoy as many as you please." After listening to the waiter, the man was a little surprised, but very happy. After he happily thought to himself, "This is not a dream in the world." Throughout the day, he had been tasting all the delicious food while enjoying the taste of beauty. However, one day he was bored, so he said to the waiter, "I'm bored from all of this. I need to do something. Can you find me a job to do?" He did not expect the answer he received. Was the waiter shaking his head. "Sorry, sir. That's the only thing we can do for you here. There's no work here for you." The man was very frustrated and waved his hand angrily as he said, "This is really bad. Then I will just stay in hell." "Where do you think you are at?" said the waiter gently. "John, these very humorous fables tell me that losing work means losing happiness. It is regrettable that some people only realize that after being unemployed, which is very unfortunate. I'm proud to say that I have never tasted unemployment. There is not my luck, because I never choose work as hard labor without fun. Instead, I found infinite happiness from work. I think the work is a privilege, and it brings more than just sustaining life. Work is a foundation of all business, the source of prosperity, the shaper of the genius. Work makes young people work harder and do more than their parents, no matter how rich they are. Work is expressed in the humblest forms and lay the foundation for happiness. A job helps to add flavors in life, but many people must love work before it can return to the biggest favors and achieve the greatest results. When I first entered the business world, I often heard that a person who wants to climb to the peak need to make a lot of sacrifices. However, as the year passed, I began to understand that many people who are climbing to the peak were not paying the prices. They work hard because they really like work. People who climb up in any industry are fully committed to what they are doing and are dedicated. Sincerely love the work you do, you will naturally succeed. Loving work is a belief. With this faith, we can heave the desperate mountain into a rock of hope. Our great painter said we well. Pain will eventually pass, but beauty will last forever. But some people are obviously not smart enough. They are ambitious, but too picky about their work. They are always looking for a perfect employer or job. The fact that the employer needs punctual, honest, and hardworking employees. They only leave the salary increases and promotional opportunities to those employees who work hard, are very loyal, extra zealous, and spend more time doing things because they are running a business, not a charity. They need those who are more valuable. No matter how great a person's ambitions, he must at least begin before he can reach the peak. Once started, it's not difficult to progress. The more difficult or unpleasant the work is, the more urgent it is to accomplish it. The longer he waits, the more difficult and scarier it becomes. It is a bit like shooting a gun. The longer you aim, the longer the chance of you pulling the trigger. I will never forget my first job, the experience of being a bookkeeper. At that time, although I have to go to work every day, when the morning just began, but never let me lose interest in the job. However, it fascinated and delighted me. Even all the red tape in the office didn't make me lose my passion for the job. As a result, my employer kept raising my salary. Income is just a byproduct of your work. Doing what you should do, accomplishing what you should do well, the ideal salary will come. And more importantly, the highest reward for our hard work is not what we get, but what we will become. Those who are mentally active do not just work hard to earn money. The real reason behind the passion for their work is far more noble. They are engaged in a fascinating career. Honestly, I am an ambitious. Since I was a child, I have wanted to be a wealthy man. For me, the Hewlett-Tuttle company I work at is a good place to exercise my ability to give myself a try in the business. It is a provider of a variety of commodities, owns an iron ore, and operates two technologies which the company heavily relies on to generate profit, namely railways and telegraphs that revolutionize the American economy. It has brought me into a fun, vast, splendid business world and taught me to respect numbers, and facts. It has also allowed me to see the power of the transportation industry and has cultivated the abilities and the qualities that I have had as a businessman. All of these have played a great role in my future business. I can say that without the experience at Hewlett-Tuttle, I will have taken many detours in my career. Now, whenever I think of Mr. Hewitt and the Tuttle, I cannot help but feel grateful in my heart. That period of time marked the beginning of my career and laid the foundation of my struggles. I'm forever grateful for the 3.5 years of experience. So I've never complained about my employer. unlike someone who might say, "We are nothing but just slaves. We are being suppressed by our employers." But they are standing tall while enjoying themselves in the beautiful villas. Their safes are full with gold, and even dollar they have is attained by exploiting honest workers like us. I don't know if these complainers want to be minority, but who gave you the opportunity to work? Who gave you the chance to build a family? Who gave you the possibility to develop yourself? If you realize they are exploiting you, why don't you end by living for God? The workbench is types of attitude. It determines whether we are happy or not. In a group of the stone mansions who are doing the same job sculpting statues, if you were asked them, "What are you doing here?" one of them might say, "You see, I'm chiseling stone, and I can go home after chiseling this piece." This kind of person always treats work like a punishment, and the work he often speaks out from his mouth is tired. Another person might say, "You see, I'm making a statue. This is very hard job, but the compensation is very high. After all, I have my wife and 4 children. They all need food and clothing." Regarding work as a burden, a sentence he often speaks out from his mouth is, "Feeding my family." The third person might put down the hammer and proudly point to the stone carving and say, "You see, I'm making a work of art." This kind of person always takes pride in and enjoy his work and often says, "This job is very meaningful." Heaven and hell are created by ourselves. If you give meaning to your work, you will feel happy regardless of its size. You will feel meaningful no matter what self-set results you have attained. If you don't like to do anything, even the simplest thing will become difficult and boring. When you lament that this work is very tiring, despite of not working hard, you will feel exhausted. In other words, that is a huge difference. There is how things are. John, if you view work as a pleasure, life is a heaven. If you view work as a duty, life is a hell. Reflect on your work attitude. It will make everyone happy. Love, your father.